Welcome, everybody, to episode 32 of The Effing Title. And this week we are presenting to you the NFL Week 1 review and the NFL Week 2 preview with my guest host, Fedge, who is not here right now, but possibly could be here, and ScratchyGolf. Scratchy, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful. I got my cup of coffee, ready to roll.
Same here. Scratchy actually picked my coffee tonight, so...
Oh, is that what I picked?
Yeah, that's what you were picking, was my coffee. Scratchy had no idea what he was picking. He just picked something. So, as you can see, let's first off hit this one. As you can see from the very bottom of the screen, directly underneath my head, we have our weekly picks from last week. So coming in first is your boy Husky at 12-4. Jeff was 8-8, and Scratchy was 6-10.
I was very close to being 9-7. I must say.
Yes, that is true.
Fucking field goal kickers, I tell you.
And that leads us right into the first part. So week 1 review, I was thinking about this, and we had talked as a group about this, how to do this so it isn't like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes long, because dear God, pretty sure we could talk the entire night on everything that just happened last week, let alone what's going to be happening as of tomorrow and this upcoming week. So instead we decided this. It's going to be 5 things, our big 5 points. So do you want to go one for one, or you just want me to just go through my 5?
We can go 1 for 1.
Okay, so
we'll probably have some that duplicate here.
True. Okay, so 1 for 1. This is my first one. My first one, almost every special teams are now suspect. Holy fuck. Bro, what was happening with special teams this week? Missed field goals, fake punts and their own 20-yard line, fucking blocked punts, onside kicks, I mean, long return, it was unreal. Special teams this week was unreal for me. Like, the one phase of the game that I thought would be, like, okay. Nope. I was wrong.
So this is actually, I think it's a direct correlation to COVID, just because normally you have preseason games, correct?
True.
And normally that's when you find out who are those players that are good enough to make your team as a role player like that.
True.
And all those undrafted free agents, all those rookie undrafted players, all those journeymen that just are looking to stick around with the team. Normally, those first 2 games of preseason, they play a lot, and you realize, all right, you'll never play in the NFL as a receiver or anything like that. But then usually by week 3 and week 4, they're trying out for their special team spots. And
exactly.
They've had a whole month to do it. And now no games means no live reps at special teams, which means maybe they got the wrong people at the wrong positions. Now, I can't really speak to the missed field goals and stuff like that. That's just...
I mean, like, it had to have been a record.
Day. Yeah, that's just a weird day. Like, you'll see. Next week, everyone will make their effing kicks, and it's like, okay,
yeah.
What the hell?
Now we're starting to get back on track.
Yeah.
So that was my first one.
My first point of emphasis was, it was a positive, actually.
Ooh.
One thing that I thought would happen is I thought there would be a lot of sacks because of O-linemen not working well together and not really having game reps. And it was actually quite the opposite. You saw not as many of those flashy deep passes that you get used to toward the end of the year. A lot more dink and dunk offense. Really, a lot more low-scoring games, even from those high-powered offenses. And it wasn't because the defense was great. It was because coordinators sat there and went, hey, O-line hasn't had a lot of work. Let's help them out. Let's get the ball out fast.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a pleasant surprise to not see any QBs out for the season with a torn rotator cuff or something, or a torn ACL because of some blindside hit. So
yeah, right.
I thought that was one of my biggest takeaways.
Yeah, that was my third one. I did it a little bit differently though. I said that the pressure on the O-line was noticeable because you could tell there were certain teams that, like, just watching, you could see that the O-line, like, wasn't there or wasn't ready. Like, we've been sending each other fucking memes of the fucking Eagles O-line versus Washington whole fucking day, you know? But the flip side of that, I thought D-lines across, like, front sevens, D lines, almost universally across the board played really well. I thought, from what I saw.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough to. It was really tough for a lot of. I mean, you saw a lot of teams run the football in
Mm-hmm.
week one. Um, we're gonna find out if that's a shift in focus this season because of how successful the Ravens were and everything, and people starting to realize they can't be the Chiefs because they don't have the Chiefs personnel.
Yep.
But even a team like we'll talk about later, the Cardinals, they ran for over 100. I think it was 150 yards.
Yeah, something like that. I think that. I
Um,
mean,
the team that's called the air raid offense ran for 150 yards. Like
I should tell you something. Like,
it's yeah. I mean, I
yeah,
think I think a lot of it has to do with again the offensive line not having live game reps. Usually, the easiest thing to put in is the run game. It's the easiest thing to rep in practice without a true rush or anything like that. So I'll be interested to see if playbooks start opening up as the season keeps progressing, or if this is just a shift in the trend and we're going back to early 2000s football.
true. I mean, the thing that I thought as well was that like we had said last week, and we said in podcasts up until now that we thought, oh, no, just podcast, just stream. Though we thought this season was going to be like week one is going to be stupid run heavy, and there were a few teams that were really run heavy, but there was also a lot of teams that just like they had a big run or two, and that's why
Yeah,
it was so like it looks like it was run heavy. But I was kind of surprised that it wasn't as run heavy as we thought it would be as well.
so the teams that we thought would truly be run heavy, like those mediocre ones that we thought would be really run heavy. Um, I mean, if you look at the stats, it looks like the Raiders were really run heavy because they got like 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns,
Hmm.
but they threw for 300 something yards.
Yeah,
I mean, it was those teams, those were the ones that surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised that the Ravens ran the ball so well. I'm not surprised that the Pats ran the ball with Cam Newton well. Those teams, like, that's what I expect the whole year from them.
hmm,
But those other teams, those mediocre on the fringe teams, I was really surprised at either how well they did run it or how poorly, like, I'm really shocked at how poor the Colts run game was. Really stunned at how bad that was. I know they're battling injuries, but they broke one decent run. Otherwise, as a collective unit, what under a little on over 100 yards? Like that's the team known for it.
yeah, exactly. Um, one of the other things that I was going to say was some teams looked solid schematically, and you and me talked about this Monday, a little bit yesterday. Like schematically, there were a few teams solid. Like it was blatantly obvious that like this team wants to do this. And then there was other teams that it looked like they were literally drawing the plays up while they were on the sidelines.
Yeah, the Eagles.
Yeah. That was one of the big ones that I noticed. And then my final one is thank God we have fucking football back. You know?
I was really impressed with the product
As a whole,
of
yeah. Like
this week one, and it really pushes the future argument of do they need a preseason
and
besides
that's the
just
thing is that
forcing
like
money out?
so of course let's hit this real quick because of course we're bringing it up right now. It's interesting that you say that, but then also the other thing that I would say is how many injuries did we fucking see this weekend? Because
I think
I felt like in
you,
every
you
game.
only you only saw maybe 3 or 4 truly serious impact injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you saw the torn Achilles with the Colts. Um, I mean, yeah, the broken collarbone with the Cowboys. We'll see about the high ankle sprain with Michael
You
Thomas.
got the
But
kicker for the
again,
Bengals hurting both of his calves
yeah,
on
I
one
mean,
kick.
but you know what I mean? Like, those are injuries that happen every year. It's every single season somebody tears an Achilles. Some big name will tear an Achilles every single year. So it's it's bound to happen, and it really brings the debate like, do they really need
Yeah, do you really need a
preseason
preseason?
football?
I
Do you
think
really need it?
my thing is, and what I'll say is, I think that they back it to 2 games.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely not going to go to zero because they need the money.
Yeah, exactly. But that's my week 1 review, anyway. So
Yeah. My wife made spice cake.
ooh, spice cake. So normally you guys would be seeing me and hearing me on Sundays, but because of Thursday night football, we're now here on Wednesday nights. So to start that off, we have the very first game of our week. We have the Bengals at the Browns. And as Fedge is not here, Fedge has given me the name of his teams that he has picked. So I will be going me, then Fedge, then Scratchy can jump in when Scratchy is available. So for me, I am picking the Bengals this week. Fedge is also picking the Bengals this week. This is my things. The only thing the Browns are able to do this past week was suck consistently. That's the only thing they were able to do throughout the entire game. Mind you, yes, it was against the Ravens. I'm a Ravens fan. I watched the entire fucking game. It was like there's been times before when I've watched that game or like I've watched the Browns playing. It's like it looks like they know what they're doing. Last week was not one of those fucking weeks. They just everything seemed off. Everything didn't seem right. It didn't. There was a lot more problems than I thought there would be. So, Rob, your choice for Bengals Browns is?
Oh.
Yeah, starting off with a really fun one. Me and Jeff have both picked the Bengals.
I want to pick the Bengals, but I'm going to have to go with the Browns.
All right. Score? So, of course, Rob gives us our weekly scores as well. So, other than, in my opinion, the Browns doing anything but consistently sucking, the other thing as well is that the Bengals, I think, are going to be a dangerous team because last week they should have won. They lost, but they should have won. They should have won week 1. They will be on a fucking warpath this week against like I said, it was a Browns team that I don't think is good. So,
did you hear the end of that?
yes, I did. It was beautiful. I loved it. Browns score. What do you got?
You know, if they can't put up points on the Bengals, then they got real serious issues. So I'm going to go with let's go 31-16.
31-16.
All right. All
right, 31-16. All right. My first point is that can the Browns do anything other than suck consistently?
Yeah, really. They got to do something. It's if they go 0-2, that team will explode, and they might as well start trading all of their pieces because that team with that many egos cannot start poorly, especially when your first 2 games are divisional games.
Exactly. And then my second point was the Eagles. The Eagles. The Bengals should have won in week 1, and I think that they'll be on the fucking warpath this week, kind of taking no fucking prisoners.
The thing with this week is they're finally going to play a team they didn't against the Ravens, obviously, but the Browns can put up points.
Yes.
And will the Bengals be able to match them? I think that's going to be the issue. I think Burrows is going to have to throw a lot more, and they're not going to be able to rely on that run game. And I think that could lead to some. It's either going to be a great day for Burrows or it's going to be his first PP slapping.
Yeah. Well, so my third point is this: is after watching the entire Browns game, and watching the highlights of the Bengals Chargers, I am thoroughly more impressed with the Bengals, and that is why I'm picking the Bengals. Is because they just, as a whole, they looked tons better than watching the Browns. Mind you, yes, we said, difference between the Chargers and the Ravens is obvious right now, but Um, that's
I
just me.
can't pick the Bengals 2 weeks in a row. They fucked me once.
This is true. All right. First game of Sunday. Sunday football. First game. Jaguars at Titans. I am picking Jacksonville. I'm picking the Jags. Veg is picking the Titans. And Scratchy is picking.
Yeah, you're high. I'm picking the Titans.
Yep. Hey, you said I was high last week for some of my picks too. What's the score?
Yeah, 31-10.
Ooh.
It's a
Not
blowout.
even fucking thinking about it.
No.
Henry still ran for over 100, but can Tannehill continue to throw well?
I don't need Tannehill to throw well. Have you seen the Jaguars defense?
Surprisingly, I liked what I kind of saw from the Jaguars as a suspect team going into this week. I liked what I saw last week from the highlights. I liked it.
That's what Jacksonville wants you to do. They want everyone to bet on them so that they can break your hearts.
Yeah, well, I slept on the Jags last week, and I'm going to say they're going to shock the world 2 weeks in a row.
The Colts are a perennial 8-8, 9-17. We should have seen it coming that they were going to have a bad loss somewhere. They just did it week 1.
Yeah. Well, you know what, though? They're going to shock the world 2 weeks in a row.
Well,
I will say this: I like their running back. Watching the Jags' new running back Henderson, he was a trip to watch. I don't know if you watched him running the ball and all, but that was fun. Undrafted rookie, like just kind of out there being like, I get to play football for a professional team. Like, kid looked like he was having fun. Those are my points, though. I don't know. I think that Tannehill will fuck up before Minshew does.
Yeah, you're thinking it's going to be a close game.
Oh, yeah.
I hate to break your heart. It won't be.
That's fine. You told me the same thing about Washington last week.
Yeah, we'll get to that one.
Panthers at Buccaneers. I'm going Buccaneers. Fedge is going Panthers, and Scratchy is going.
Fedge is high. He went with the Panthers.
Yep, he went with the Panthers.
He's really all in on this Matt Rule thing, huh?
I guess.
Yeah, silly Jeff. Tricks are for kids.
Yep, so you're going Buccaneers. Score.
Yeah. I'll go 28-14.
28-14? All right. Is that you said 28-14?
Yeah, 28-14.
Is 2 weeks the magic number to get Tom on page with the rest of his team? You could tell watching him throwing the ball, getting to different people. He didn't know the presence in the pocket. He didn't know the speed of the receivers. He didn't know how receivers like to break. You could tell just by watching. Like, there was certain plays where, like, yeah, it just kind of clicked. But then, like, you could tell the majority of the time, though, he was having troubles, like, with a lot of them.
We all have to keep in mind it's also the Saints defense, which is one of the best.
Which, that is true.
This is not one of the best defenses.
Not at all. I still don't trust Teddy Bridgewater, but McCaffrey needs to be more involved in that offense. I think we were talking about it where it was like a 4th down and they didn't give it to McCaffrey. Like,
yeah, that's how they lost. I don't know what they were doing. That was stupid.
you have arguably the best athlete in the entire NFL. Why aren't you giving him the fucking ball?
They gave it to the fullback, and he got stuffed.
And like I said, this isn't the Saints' offense. Tom Brady gets his first win in Tampa.
Yeah,
that's why I'm looking at it.
It's gonna be an easy 28-14.
Broncos.
I got nothing else to say. Tom Brady's gonna kick his ass.
Broncos at Steelers. Me and Fedge are both picking Pittsburgh.
See, I got the Broncos.
Okay.
I wasn't impressed with the Steelers giving up a 19-play drive to open up the second half, where if it wasn't for that fluke, he finally got his hand on Daniel Jones rolling out play, I think the Giants were about to win that game if they were able to punch that in.
Okay.
I mean, I wasn't impressed in all seriousness.
Right.
What's up, Murph? Hey, buddy.
I thought the Steelers' D looked good. especially against a second-year QB like Daniel Jones. And
We'll see how they look against real receivers, though.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And real tight ends.
But now it's a second year, another second year QB 2 weeks in a row. I think the Bud Dupree and T.J. Watt are fucking licking their lips, ready for this one. They have this is my thing with Denver, because of course, like I said, I watched the highlight. I looked at the stats. They have so many weapons that I think that's their downfall, and that will be their downfall. Is because they're just looking. You could see that they are trying to get everyone involved, and I think that's going to be the downfall of that team. And that's why I think this is going to be a close game. I don't know what you think score-wise, but I think this one's going to be a close one. But I think
19-17.
19-17. All right. I think that. I just think that Big Ben being back there in charge, you could tell that offense had a little bit more kind of pizzazz than it did last year. Like everything kind of looked like it felt a little bit more comfortable. You know what I mean?
You also still couldn't name any other player besides Juju Smith-Schuster.
James Washington.
Nope. He was hurt.
He was there. He was playing.
No. Well, then did he get hurt?
Probably. There was also Snell. Connor.
Yeah, no. Connor was hurt too.
Connor got hurt in the game.
All the carries.
Pouncey.
No, I'm not going to lineman.
No, they have Chase. Don't they have Chase? Fucking the tight end, the wide receiver from Notre Dame. Chase Poole, Claypool, something like that.
I had no idea, man.
I know Jeff is now in chat just dropping Deontay Villanueva.
Deontay's the one
Pouncey.
I was trying to think of. Deontay.
Yeah, no. So that's my thing with that is like that. So I don't think that they will. I don't think that the Broncos can stop that offense.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I have nothing that can prove you wrong with that statement.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a gut feeling.
Yeah, it's like, and this is
gonna pick against the Steelers every week. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, like that's the thing. Like, and this is week 2. Once it gets to week 17, then you can be like, okay, well, like you can see here, Husky, like you're being a fucking idiot.
Yeah, like I've got nothing. We'll find out if the Broncos are the real deal or not. If they can put up points against a real defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they played tough against the Titans, and the Titans are a good defense. And they finally started to get rhythm going toward the end of that game.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, their coach shit the bed with their clock management.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Jeff says here, with AJ Aboye out as well, that's no number one receiver. I mean, no number one corner. That defense already.
Worry about that.
Yeah. Next. Rams Eagles. Do I even need to ask or say what we're all thinking? Because this is pretty much a fucking simple one right here.
See, I don't know. I feel like
I think this is the easy clap of the week. New thing, easy clap of the week.
This is tough to pick on a Wednesday.
Easy clap of the week.
This is really easy to pick on Sunday when you find out who's healthy for the Eagles.
Well, me and Fedge are going Rams.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm picking the Rams too, but if all of a sudden you see the Eagles are all healthy on Sunday, it will be a close game. But, I'm with you. I think Rams.
See, I don't see it. So this is my thing.
You're going to see some explosion from that Rams offense.
So Rams offensively scheme is number one in the NFL right now. Schematically wise, number one in the NFL. They have that shit on lock. Like, so then this is
I'm gonna go 30-13.
30-13. All right. Fedge also says Aaron Donald scores more than the Eagles' offense. Real life, not fantasy.
Probably. They did just lose to the Washington football team.
So that's the thing. Is like my first thing is I think the Rams offensive scheme wise is one of the best in the NFL right now, if not the best. just watching them play, it was easy for them, you know. And then my second thing is really 0-17, and then it's 27-17 at the end of the game. You let Washington score 27 fucking unanswered. And you expect us to take you seriously. Like,
it was really bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said, Rams should easily walk away with this one. And Jeff just said, but seriously, Rams defense / special teams will score more than the Eagles this week. And I'll agree with that. I will fucking wholeheartedly agree with that statement.
Probably. I can't debate that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stick up for the Eagles, but I got nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those things. It's just like
the Rams offense is a thing of beauty, especially their defense when they're healthy.
Oh God,
it's pretty good. You saw it against the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys are a really balanced, really, really good team, and they held that offense in check.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys offense is way better than the Eagles. So.
Yeah. Niners, 49ers at the Jets. Me and Fedge are both going Niners.
Niners by 100.
That's going to be right this time. By 100. Okay.
It's going to be, no, seriously, 42-10.
Wow, you're actually letting them get 10, huh?
Yeah, the end of the game, I saw the Jets put up like 2 touchdowns against the Bills in garbage time. So
yeah. My thing is
they're going to be hungry.
My thing is, can Jimmy G can he make the plays that he needs to? Because there were plays that he was making that looked good, but then there was also plays that like he should easily be making them, and he wasn't.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're in a position right now where they got to make sure they got to come out and win. So it's Frank Gore against his old team goes off.
Yep. I mean, yeah, I think Frank Gore.
I mean, that'd be cool, but I don't think so.
My thing is this: is like my number 2 statement. Jets get some lucky points last week, but the big question is though is what the fuck are they doing? Because I don't know. I don't know if anyone fucking knows. At this point, what it looks like is they're going to lose the season, fire their head coach, trade Sam Darnold, get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
And it's only week 1. And, like, I can say that, and most people will look at me and be like, that makes sense. Like...
Yeah, I mean, Adam Gase was just a stepping stone to get the guy that they want to get. So...
Yeah.
Which I have a sneaky feeling is going to be Josh McDaniels.
Ooh.
But don't be surprised if they don't end up with the number 1 pick, if they go with Cam Newton as well.
Ooh. Interesting. A lot of future talk here. I like it. Yeah, I don't think the Niners let off the pedal or give up. They're just going to put them away. Like, they're going to end it.
They're just going to run it down their goddamn throats.
Yeah.
And the Jets won't be able to do anything about it.
Yeah, no. Bills at Dolphins. Me and Jeff both picking Bills.
Yeah, Bills by 100.
Wow, you're actually picking the Bills this week, all right? Is it just because you can't hear his reaction to you saying Dolphins? Is that why?
Yeah, I can't stomach that. I'll never pick the Dolphins. The Steelers and Dolphins, I'll never pick. I can't. Not until Tua's playing. As soon as Tua's starting, we'll have a different conversation.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that
Ryan Fitzpatrick is the QB. No.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say we're picking this. So we're gonna go with the same that we went with last time, right?
No, I'll go 27-10.
All right, 27-10. All right.
The Bills love to do this thing where they get big leads and then they start running the ball.
Well, I actually
did last week.
I remember the word from college that all 3 of us, and I think the majority of the offense hated, was that we need to eliminate the SIWs, self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah.
If they do that, this is fucking scary. And by self-inflicted wounds, what I'm talking about is miss kicks, right? Fumbles, just this easy mistakes that you can get rid of. Yeah, it's that shit's scary. I love Fitzmagic. You love Fitzmagic. Fedge loves Fitzmagic. But for fuck's sakes, like that's all I have there. Is like,
He was terrible.
I mean, he did what he did what he did. He chucked the ball around the yard. Now sometimes it goes to the other team, but he still chucked the ball around the yard. Like it's just like with a team like that, they I don't want to say Tua needs to go in now because of course you want the kid to develop and not be thrown into a shitty situation. But from what I was watching, because of course, mind you, Jeff probably watched the whole thing. I just saw the highlights. But from what I was watching of it, though, Tua would have made a lot more throws and made a lot more smarter decisions in that game.
See, the tough part that you can't figure out yet is the decision making.
Exactly.
But the accuracy of throws would have definitely been better because that's what he's known for is his accuracy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a long wait. I have a feeling when the Dolphins start 0-3, 0-4,
Then
they'll
they're
make
gonna.
that change. But I also haven't read anything about how Tua's been doing in camp and stuff like that. So got to go with that too.
The Bills should be able to dominate this. Whoever makes the most outrageous, you know, mistakes, that's who's going to lose this game, in my opinion. But yeah, no, the Bills should dominate this.
I agree.
This next one's an interesting one. We got Vikings at Indianapolis. Vikings at Colts. I always say that word weird. Stupid English accent. Me and Fedge are both picking Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota. Yeah. They're going to be pissed off. They didn't play well last week. I mean, that defense didn't play well.
Yeah,
that defense is way better than they are, than they performed. I mean, offensively, I mean, they are what they are. They're going to run the ball. They're always going to consistently put up between 3 to 4 touchdowns. So, I mean, I'm thinking a 28-17 type of game, something in that wheelhouse.
With no Marlon Mack and Phillip Rivers giving his best Jameis Winston impression for an entire game, I don't know if they can be successful.
I have nothing good to say about the Colts.
The only thing I would say, only positive thing I would say, is Jonathan Taylor showed why he should be the number one back. Like he did well in his first outing as like, hey, now I get the ball after you put me as third, and someone had to get injured for me to fucking show you what I can do. Like, I thought Jonathan Taylor did well. Minnesota, offensively, they fucking dominated. Defensively, they developed 43 points to the best team in the NFC. But Indianapolis isn't the best team, even in the AFC, let alone the fucking NFC.
They're not even the best team in the AFC South.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Vikings definitely, they get their swagger back, and they're going to fucking kill this one, I think. They're going to put them away. Right now on to Lions at Packers. Detroit at Green Bay. Me and Fedge are both going Pack. Go Pack,
you know what
go.
Sucks is this game's going to be close, but
it's one of those. It's like
you know me. I'm a Lions fan. I can't support the Lions anymore until they fire Patricia.
No, I agree.
He fucking sucks.
I agree. He's
a terrible coach.
You know what he is to me. Like this is the best analogy and best way I can see it, especially for someone like you who was a New England native, was a fan for a while, and then you went to the Lions, then he went to the fucking Lions. It's almost like when I saw Rex Ryan go from our DC to the head coach of the Jets. Incredible coordinator.
At least he had success.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying like that. I'm saying more like that though. Incredible coordinator. But head coach ain't your thing.
See, I don't even think that. I think people really sat back and they thought he did a lot more than he did. Matt Patricia was just a puppet of Belichick's. let's say what it is, because dude, you've been a head coach now, and your team is gone from a playoff contender every year to you fucking suck, and you've cost your team so many goddamn games. It is unreal.
Well, I'd argue
So yeah,
games and
I
players.
pick Packers. Like they might put up 50. It's gonna be a fucking blowout.
Hmm.
I'm saying 50 to 12. It's a goddamn blowout.
My thing is like, can the Lions easily continue to move the ball? But this time it's against a solid
See,
in
that's why I picked
division.
12. They're gonna move the ball
Yeah,
and they're gonna
that's
kick
I mean,
four field goals.
when that's the thing is like that's the one thing that you can almost guarantee these days. If Matthew Stafford is starting for the Lions, they will move the ball. They're not going to fucking score that much, but they will move the ball. Like, um,
Mm-hmm.
and this is my other thing. Who says the Packers need a fucking wide receiver when they're putting up 364 fucking yards and 4 touchdowns in the air?
Dude, Aaron
Like
Rodgers came out and said, "Hey, don't forget about me.
yeah,
I'm still here."
you know. Um, my thing is this: is Packers defense comes alive. Meanwhile, no one on the Lions defense can stop Rodgers and company. I mean, like we just said, it's going to be a fucking blowout. It's going to be a massacre. Like, this ain't going to be pretty.
Now the second one will be close. The first one's gonna be a blowout.
Um, moving on now, we have Falcons at Cowboys. I struggled with this one, and I decided to go Atlanta. I'm going Falcons.
What the hell?
Fedge is going Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys. No brainer. Cowboys. I mean, the only way that the Falcons win is if Julio goes off for 4 touchdowns. Guess what? Ain't happening. I mean, if you watch that game, the only reason that game was close is because they scored useless touchdowns at the end of the game. Like it's it's like that Bills Jets game. That game wasn't close. It wasn't. The Falcons got blown out last week. They're gonna get blown out again by a team who can literally do whatever they want because they have Ezekiel Elliott and they have a fantastic offensive line. So I would say honestly, like they're gonna score points, so it's gonna look close. Let's go 35-24, but it's really gonna be a blowout.
So this is my thing, of course, with me doing Sunday Night Football and watching the entire Cowboys Rams game. Their points either looked elite or it looked like fucking trash. To me, they got to figure that shit out first before anything, because there's times when you can see Dak and he's like, okay, 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 I don't know what to do. Where's my running back here? And I don't think that shit's gonna get it done, especially for a guy that wants how much money does he fucking want? Like,
Well, it
400,
will get it done. It will get it done against the Falcons.
450 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, still can't win. Atlanta's fucking cursed. Um,
Yeah, 450 yards passing. How many of that was in the fourth quarter?
I can't tell you that much.
Probably about 200 of it.
This is my thing. I don't think the Cowboys defense will be able to handle Calvin and Julio. That's why I went Atlanta. I went out on a fucking limb. I mean, not out on a limb. Last week I said Cowboys, and I said this shit's gonna be fucking easy for them, like that sort of thing. And then watching that game, it was fucking embarrassing watching that team try to figure out what the fuck they were doing. And it's just no. Right now, Dallas got to show me fucking something. Um, that's my thing there. I'm going Atlanta. Just one of my off picks. This next one, Giants at Bears. Rar, go Bears. Fedge says Giants. Scratchy says.
I'll go with the Bears, I guess.
Let's go.
They're gonna make me eat my words, but
The funny thing is you actually played a big part of me making my decision on this. Steelers showed that if you just say fuck it, we're gonna stop Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones has to beat you. Daniel Jones hasn't been able to beat by himself anyone yet.
No, yeah, exactly.
When you have like either, depending on the day, one of the best defenses or one of the worst defenses in the NFC, you take that fucking risk.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be pretty accurate. I think it's going to be a lot of you're going to see Daniel Jones make a lot of mistakes in this game, and I think that's why they're going to win. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that the Bears are that much better. But
another thing is, will it take 3 quarters for Mitchell Trubisky to get finally warmed up and play like the stud that I know he can play like? Because that shit was embarrassing watching that. Watching him take that long to finally get fucking, to get, as I said earlier, to get his swagger back and do what he needed to do, which is just throw the rock where he needs to throw it. I think the Bears get warmed up a lot faster against a team that isn't the Lions. I'd put the Giants a little bit below the Lions right now. And I think that Saquon gets shut down once again. Once a player gets once a team finds out how to shut down a player, that shit spreads around the NFL very fast. And you saw it in the Giants game. They started going 5 wide as soon as they got out of half. They went 5 wide most of the game from then on out.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I just really worry that Trubisky's gonna fuck me.
Well, that's the thing is that's why I said the big thing with this is will he be able to warm up fast? And the other thing now as well that we got to take into account here is the whole Allen Robinson thing. With Allen Robinson being technically the number 1 receiver there, and him removing everything bear related from his profile, but then also being nah, I want to be traded, trade me. How well is he gonna fucking play?
Apparently that got cleared up today.
Oh, really?
And he came out publicly and said that he's
just frustrated. Altered. Something like that. That's good though. That's good to hear that. So what are you thinking score wise here for Bears Giants?
2010.
Ooh, 2010. All right. I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get to Washington football team at Arizona. Obviously, I am going to go with the Cardinals. Veg is going Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm going Cardinals on this one. I think the Cardinals are the real deal this year.
I mean, like I said last week, I picked the Niners just because I felt like the Niners would be more stable as a team than what Arizona would be with a bunch of new pieces being added in. I was obviously greatly wrong, and that is fine. Watching that offense was a fucking joy and a half. Can Washington's DBs stop Hopkins, Fitz, Kirk, Drake, their white boy tight end that I can't think of his name of right now? I think it's Donald, and Kyler Murray. Can they do that? I would say that Murray is going to have a tougher time with this D-line than he did last week. And that's a big thing to say when the Niners have one of the best D-lines in the NFL. But after watching what Washington did, mind you, it was against a beat-up Eagles offensive line. But still, once you get a D-line that has that sort of swag to them after a first week, they're looking to keep that momentum riding. And I think that's going to be an interesting matchup, is to see that. But I just at the end of the game, at the end of the game, to put it bluntly, there's so much firepower in Arizona. It's too much for Washington to handle. That's my thing.
Yeah, I think Washington was a pleasant surprise, but I think they're on the verge of a 5 to 6 win season. Not anything crazy, great improvement, but they're not going to beat the teams that they're not, I'm going to say supposed to, but that they're not supposed to beat. They're going to go out there. They're going to play hard, but I think Cardinals are going to put up about 33, 34 points. Washington will put up a fight. They'll probably get to 27, but nothing crazy.
All right. So what do you think of score-wise for this?
Sorry, what was that?
What do you think of score-wise?
33-27.
33-27. All right. Now we move on to Chiefs at Chargers. I feel like there's after week one kind of revealed a lot of just very kind of like easy, blatant, like, yeah, this is happening. This is Chiefs. Jeff says Chiefs.
It is Chiefs. Bear with me. I got to go get a piece of cake.
Yep, that's fine. Give me a piece. Chiefs. Same old Chiefs offense, same old shit. The only difference is now is that their run game is kind of scary with Edwards-Helaire there. It's kind of fucking scary. And by kind of scary, I mean it's scary. The fact that offense just got a legit running threat now is definitely a improvement and a good thing for them. Bad for the rest of the NFL, good for them. Tyrod continues, and this is going to be a very unpopular opinion here that I'm about to make. But Tyrod Taylor continues to show why he's a perennial backup in the NFL. He is, in my opinion, a scrambling version of Matt Schaub. Right? He's a version of Matt Schaub that can scramble. Outside of Williams, Allen, and Henry, offensively, that entire team is suspect. They have a good one. They have Allen, who should be a 1, but he plays in the slot. And then you got a tight end who's beat up most of the season. I've liked the Chargers in the past. I can't get behind this man right now. The Chargers struggled with the Bengals. How do you think they're going to fare against the Super Bowl champs? So that's my whole thing there. Scratchy kind of left me on a really bad one that I can't really talk too much more about because there's not really a lot more to talk about this one. So, yeah, no, this is basically just gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun bloodbath. Yeah, no, the Chiefs just are so good. Just the amount that they have weapons on weapons on weapons on weapons, and they always find a way to get the majority of them involved.
Chiefs 34-16.
Oh, there he goes. 34-16.
You know what I did there? I just took what the Chiefs scored last in their first game and what the Chargers scored in their first game.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Makes sense. So this is my 3 points were the Chiefs look like the old Chiefs, but they actually have a run game, which is kind of fucking terrifying.
So I think the thing that you're going to see is statistically, they're not going to be as great this season because they are going to be more dangerous in the sense that
they don't need Mahomes to just sit back and just kind of, you know.
But it's gonna help their defense because their defense isn't going to be on the field so quickly.
Oh, true, 100%. So my points for it was that this is kind of, I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but this is one that I thought of. Tyrod Taylor continues to show why he's a perennial backup. He's a scrambling version of Matt Schaub. He's a journeyman that gets fucking work every now and then as a starter. But outside of Williams, Allen, and Henry, that entire offense is suspect. Like, and the defense didn't look that good either, really.
Yeah.
And like I said, they struggled with Cincinnati. Like,
I mean, it's the Tyrod Taylor curse.
Yeah.
He's a great game manager. He can't score. He can't put up points.
It was one of those things, like, I was upset that he left Baltimore. simply because I liked having him as a backup because he's a good backup. If your starter goes down, he's going to be able to help you, like, either one, potentially get the win, or two, he's going to be there to, do a good enough job to not fuck up. When you're putting all the pressure on him, like what these teams are doing now, it's a little bit different than saying, like, hey, don't worry about this shit. Joe's going to be back next week, or, whatever. Ravens at Texans. Me and Fedge are both going Baltimore. Do it.
Yeah, no, F the Texans. I picked the Ravens.
No time.
I think it will be a lot like that Monday night game. You're going to see the Texans struggle against a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking like 35-17, something like that.
Okay, I like it.
It's a good cake.
Good cake. I mean, I asked you for a piece, but I don't have any, so. Okay.
We'll just envision spice cake, okay? And then envision it going in my mouth.
Okay, I envisioned both of those. Oddly turned on right now. Anyways, back to football. My thing is this: is like, will the Ravens offense continue with this passing attack? Because Lamar was throwing. We ran the ball not that much, surprisingly. We threw the ball more than we ran, and Lamar looks good throwing the ball. Like I said to Jeff, there was one really bad throw, and that was him rolling to his left, and he released it as he was getting hit. Like, that was his bad throw. Other than that, he had one high throw to Mark Andrews, but it's Mark Andrews. He made that shit, So it's going to be interesting to see if they continue with this passing attack, or if they're going to get back to the basics of, we're just going to punch you in the face, and two, you don't want to be punched in the face anymore, and then we're going to keep punching you in the face. Like, interesting seeing what the Texans were going to do. We were, wondering kind of what the fuck they would do. A lot of different targets, but Will Fuller is obviously showing that he's going to be the number one guy now. And pleasant surprise seeing Johnson actually run solid, after being injured for a few years. But as a Baltimore fan, I'm going to go Baltimore. I have to. I think this is going to be a slugfest, but I think Baltimore wins in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's too bad that the Texans drew these first two games.
Oh yeah, Super Bowl champ, and then MVP.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, people are going to be down on them. They're not a bad team. They're just the same team they've always been.
It's kind of the same thing. I feel the same way about the Texans because I was a Texans fan for a little bit. It's the same way I feel about you, like how you feel with the Lions. Until that team gets rid of Bill O'Brien, this team is screwed. That's just how it is.
Pretty much.
But now we move on to Patriots at Seattle. Me and Fedge are going Seattle.
This will be a difference maker for us all then. I'm going New England. Okay.
I was thinking that you might, and I almost did, but I decided not to.
I really.
God bless you. Okay, Quinion Williams over there. Bless me.
Bless the baby. I really think that this Patriots offense is very unique. I think it will eventually burn out toward the end of the season, because I think eventually teams will start understanding what they're trying to do and accomplish and be able to slow that stuff down.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to be on a offense by committee type of thing, where it's the weeks that they think they can mash you, they're going to mash you, and other weeks they're going to spread it out. They're going to throw it a lot more. I'm not going to sit here and say I like the personnel matchup and all that stuff, but the Pats defense is probably one of the best in the league, if not the best, especially that secondary. And I think if you can contain Russell Wilson from doing his craziness, then you have a good chance of keeping them in the low point total.
Yeah.
The key is going to be the Pats got to take advantage of their opportunities. Against the Dolphins, that game finished 21-11, and it should have been 35-3.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that against good teams.
Yeah.
If you get down inside that red zone, you got to finish with points. But I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good test for both teams.
True.
Both teams' offenses. It's going to be a good test for both teams' offenses to really come out here and see what they're both made of. Because I do think, even after watching the Dolphins game, I know the Dolphins aren't much, but they showed again, like, yeah, they're one of the best defenses in the league again.
Yeah. It was
they'll get a game where they get torched. Like, if they play the Ravens again, they'll get torched because it's a mobile QB and all that shit. But
my thing is, like, so Cam Newton adds an extra layer to that offense we haven't seen before because he's able to run so much. It's like a lot of those
19 times.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of those plays, like, you can look at, like, and like even the red zone play where he just, like, they ran like trips to one side and then he just ran to the other side. Like, that's easily something that, like, it probably is like an easy adjustment in their playbook that they probably added. You know what I mean? Like, so just seeing that, the thing that worries me about what you were saying though, with their offense is, like, yeah, this is a little bit different. We have, it's one of those things where, like, every now and then something comes along that kind of just changes stuff just a little bit. I think after hearing you say earlier today that they're doing a whole new thing or something like that, like they got all sorts of new stuff cooked up for this week. I don't know, man. That seems dangerous to me against a team like Seattle to do that. If this was like them going up against like Miami this week, then yeah, fuck it, rock and roll. But saying that against going up against Seattle, like, and going to Seattle, like, I don't know, that seems a little extra to me.
Also remember this: they only threw the ball like 17 times.
Oh yeah.
So it may look different. Them saying it's going to be a different looking offense.
It might just be them throwing it. Yeah.
We're not going to run the ball 50 fucking times this game.
Yeah.
You're right. That would make it look completely different.
Yeah, that is true.
So it could be something like that. Maybe they're not going to run the QB as much this week. It could be little things like that, So I'm interested to see it. It'll be unique. I'm very interested. It should be fun, but
yeah. Seattle continues their offensive dominance. Like, I don't understand. Like, their D let up tons of yards, mind you, but their offense is just like it's one of the top tier offenses in the league. Like, just I almost feel like it doesn't matter who they line up against, they're gonna do well. It's one of those ones. But my reason for picking Seattle is I think just Seattle is more established in all of their ways, right? But then also I think that eventually Cam will break down, and I think this is going to be the game because, like we said, this isn't Miami.
You think the second game of the season?
This is my thing, man. Cam is one of those big head guys. Remember, there was the fucking the Amazon Prime show there that they do. Can't think of his fucking name now.
All or Nothing.
Yeah, in that, right? He big head every single week, like, sort of thing. You look good, you play good, you get paid good, right? And like all that stupid ego shit. Like, I think after having a big week one and him being like, hey, I'm the Patriots now, that sort of thing. I think that he's gonna go into Seattle. Seattle's gonna say fuck you. And he's going to start to break down. I'm not saying he's going to fully break down. I'm going to say we're going to see the beginnings of it. Right? Because remember, my thing is that this is a guy that, in his first few years in Carolina, is losing by 30 points. They finally score, and his immediate thing is to start celebrating and doing his Superman thing.
Oh, you and me will always disagree on that.
Yeah,
I think it's really hard to fucking score, and if I don't care what the score is, if you score, you celebrate because it's really fucking hard to score points.
well,
Because
yeah,
I've bet on those teams that cannot score
oh yeah,
points.
no, we both have been on those teams. Like, your first year at the U, my first and second year at the U. Like, what do you think of score wise though?
31-28.
All right, all right. So both teams are going to score a little bit, but it's still going to be a close game. And then we get to Monday night. Monday night, we got Saints at Raiders. Me and Fedge are both going Saints. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone out there listening.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Saints as well. Yeah, I like the Raiders, but this ain't the fucking Panthers.
Yeah.
The Saints are gonna put up a lot of points. They're gonna shut them down. I do think it's gonna be in the 37-17 range.
Okay. Saints looked just like they did. Like they always do. They look dangerous. The thing now is, will they continue to look dangerous without Michael Thomas? Also, I felt like we got a lot more Taysom Hill than we normally do. Did you notice that, or was that just me?
A lot more, yes.
Right, I thought it was weird to me. I was seeing him on the field is fine. Like, I know he lines up all over the fucking place and does all sorts of things. But seeing him just straight up lining up at QB as much as I saw, I wasn't sure about that. You got
but he is the future. Drew Brees is leaving soon. You know what I mean?
You can say that all you want. I ain't believing it.
That's fair.
So the best players on the Raiders after week 1, okay? It's either Josh Jacobs
Or it's Josh Jacobs.
or it's Daniel Carlson, their kicker.
Wrong. It's Josh Jacobs. I'll be right back, sir.
Okay, while you're gone, I'm going to bring up the facts to show you that you were wrong, sir. This is the big thing for everyone out there. The Raiders' run game is legit, but it's not legit enough to beat the Saints.
Josh Jacobs.
So, okay, Daniel Carlson, 2 for 2 field goals, 4 for 4 PATs, 10 points. No, I'm just saying he won AFC Special Teams Player of the Week. Like that's like so I'm saying their best 2 players right now, okay, is either Josh Jacobs or Daniel Carlson. That's their 2. Like
Josh Jacobs.
Well, yeah, that's why I said him first there, Rob, okay? But yeah, no, this is going to be another just kind of slap around fest. And the Saints just prove again why they will probably be fighting for potentially a Super Bowl this year.
I think the Saints are going to do it again. Go to the NFC title game and find a way to choke to the Vikings. I mean, it happens every single year. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Maybe the Rams can do it to them this year. But yeah, I think Saints are going to be comfortable in this game.
Yeah, this isn't gonna be like last week where they were like, I felt like it's a lot of hype going into that game last week. I feel like this week is a very much let us sit back kind of okay, whew, deep breath. All right, let's just go do this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's it. That's the whole week, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, as the weeks continue. Of course, if you're visually watching this, that's it.
Who's got a bye week?
Yeah, right. I mean, well, I started thinking about it as well because like I've been checking time as we've been going. It's just that the aspect as well of a third person talking that makes it a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
True.
yeah, but
True that.
yeah,
See,
no,
what he's saying, Jeff, is you don't shut up.
I'm just gonna take a sip of my water. Um,
He won't deny it, Jeffrey.
um,
Won't deny it.
if you are physically watching this, the stream will continue to evolve. The look of it, I have an idea for next week that I think will be kind of cool. We'll see though. Um, and if you're listening at home, I appreciate it. I hope you have been enjoying this and learn a little something because we do. Um,
I learn every day, man.
there we go. Yeah, no, football's back as of tonight. Bengals Browns. You guys will be seeing this. The reason why I'm saying this back tonight is because you guys will be seeing this on YouTube.
I was
Tomorrow.
like, dude, are you high? It's not Thursday.
um, yeah, no. So this will be on YouTube tomorrow morning. For everyone out there that doesn't watch on air, watches on YouTube, you guys can listen to this tomorrow morning all the way throughout the day and into the weekend to see how you do and how we do. And yeah, make sure to stop by and hang out. And what I think we might, like I said, we're going to constantly evolve this as the year goes on. Is what I'm basically getting at. But we appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out and talking in the chat. We had a nice bunch of people in chat talking, responding, having some good times.
Real quick, can I ask you a question?
You can always ask me a question.
So before you sign off, okay, we actually didn't do this with Jeffrey, and I think it should be the first question we ask him next week. Why didn't we do Super Bowl picks?
Oh, what, beginning of the year Super Bowl picks?
Yeah, we gotta do beginning of the year. How about this will be we didn't get preseason, so we gave it week one. Everyone has seen week one. I'm not saying Super Bowl, like we just gotta make our Super Bowl picks, man.
So you're saying you want to do this right now? Or you want to do this at the beginning of next week?
Let's do it right now.
Right now, all right.
And we make Jeff has to pick next week.
Okay.
And Jeff has to submit it to us before the games this week. He can't get 2 weeks to think about it, like, because who knows? I mean, if the Washington football team starts 2-0, it's going to raise a lot of eyebrows.
All right.
Take a second.
Well, I have. Well, that's the thing is like I have it in my head what I want to see because I think that the matchup would be fantastic.
So there's a what you want to see, and there's a what do you think will actually happen.
Well, that's the thing is like it kind of both of them work together. It's kind of a what I think could happen, what I kind of want to see, and what like if I say this, you're not going to sit there and be like I'm an idiot. Like it's one of those things.
Because I can tell you the one that I want to see, and then I can tell you the one that I think it's going to be.
Okay, so this is mine. I'm going to go Saints.
Is this the one you want it to be,
nope,
or
this,
the one
this,
that you
this
think
is what,
it
this
will
is what,
be?
This is what I'm going to just... This is what I'm...
Okay,
because you know me. I never do Super Bowl picks. I've never done Super Bowl picks. I hate doing Super Bowl picks. So here we go. Saints, Ravens. Done.
You're going to tell me who wins it?
Ravens.
That's a solid pick. Now I'm gonna give you two of them because I'm gonna tell you the one that I want to see, and it's far fetched and it's probably not gonna happen.
Love it. Okay?
What I want to see is a 49ers versus Bills Super Bowl.
Okay.
I don't think either team makes it there. I do believe both teams make the playoffs. I don't think either team makes it. What I think it will be. What was that?
What was that?
I think it will be Seattle.
Okay.
And no, you know what? No, take that back. It's going to be Green Bay and Kansas City.
Okay.
That's what I think. I think it's going to be Green Bay versus Kansas City,
And who's winning it?
and I think Green Bay is going to beat the Saints,
Cool.
and that the Saints are going to get screwed over again in the NFC title game, and I think Kansas City is going to beat the Ravens in the AFC title game, and I think the Packers win it.
Okay.
I think Aaron Rodgers gets off to schneid. It's not really a schneid if you've won one, is it?
No, I don't think so, but we go with it, I guess. Yeah, no, I mean that's a great thing. I didn't even think about doing Super Bowl picks. Like I said, you know me, I fucking hate doing Super Bowl picks. So,
I'm really curious who Jeff's gonna say.
I am too. I feel like he was. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think his NFC is gonna be Seahawks. Don't know why.
Yeah, I was leaning Seahawks too.
Well, that's the thing is like I was picking Ravens no matter what because it's Ravens. It's gonna be either Ravens or Chiefs in my opinion. It's gonna be Ravens or Chiefs. I'm a Ravens fan. I'm just gonna pick Baltimore. Like there.
That's the one I'm curious about is will Jeff actually pick the Buffalo Bills? Because there's a really good chance they make the playoffs.
Oh, 100%. I think that they take the AFCs.
See, I don't think they do this year.
I think
they're still a wild card team, and I'm gonna think that until Josh Allen proves me wrong.
Okay.
As soon as he proves me wrong, I think it's the Bills' division to lose for the next 10 years. But Josh Allen has to prove that he's a consistent enough quarterback for me to say that he's gonna, because I think he's got to win at least 11 games, maybe even 12.
Well, also remember
the Pats schedule is not difficult.
Well, remember this is the first year that brings in the new playoff rules as well.
Yeah, the one team bye.
Yep, it's the one team bye. So that will be interesting to see too.
7 playoff teams.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It will be really interesting to see who is going to be the team in each conference. Really, I mean.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think already.
I think you're gonna see like a Cardinal sneak in.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Right,
we were talking about that a little while ago. How you have the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Niners, and the Rams. All 4 of those are teams that could potentially make the playoffs, and also / are 4 of the best teams in the NFC.
Yeah,
and they're all in one fucking conference or division.
Can the Las Vegas Raiders get into that 7th seed?
Nope.
Can they make the playoffs?
Nope. I have no faith in Oakland.
Huh?
No faith at all. The fact that they have just Josh Jacobs, basically, in my opinion. I mean, of course, I also say Daniel Carlson. But when you trade your best player. And then during that next season, you say, it's really hard to find a good pass rusher.
Hey, man, they're 1-0.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be. They're like Washington.
I like cold, smooth analysis. Cardinals are better than the 49ers this year. Well, I mean, they did just play, so you're not wrong.
Yeah. Factually,
after one game, that is 100% correct.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are better than the 49ers this year.
This is one of the other things I was thinking about.
We'll see if that holds up.
But this is one of the other things I was thinking about too, was adding. Of course, I'm not going to add it to the title or anything, but the last few minutes of the podcast, I think we might just open it up to the people in chat and just have them either say stuff, ask stuff, our opinion on stuff, and just kind of do that a little bit. I think that'll be something as well moving forward that we will do a little bit more of as well.
Let's rock and roll with it.
I mean, right now we had will Darren Waller rebound? That was one of the very first ones early. I just responded to it directly in chat, but I said potentially. I was like, I don't think versus the Saints though anyone on that team will rebound.
I didn't know Darren Waller played basketball.
And then, does Carolina have a better chance of beating the Bucs, or do the Pats beating Seattle? That was from Swartz.
Pats beating Seattle.
Yeah, 100%. And then other than that, it was AJ Green or Devin Singletary in a PPR league this week.
Devin Singletary.
There you go.
AJ Green's not. He's not gonna get a lot of catches.
There you go. I'm wrong. He's right. Trust him, even though my record's better. And then Packers should trade for OBJ, and I say, dear God, no.
Yeah, he might actually work with the Packers. But no, they don't need him. Devontae Adams is fine. Like,
you have Devontae. I mean, like, that's the thing is, like, they have Adams, they have Alan Lazard, they have the guy that has like 20 fucking names in his name. Like I said, like, where was the number that I had written down here? Where the fuck did it go? Right here. Like, they have 364 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. Like, they don't, like, saying that they need a wide receiver is like saying that Baltimore needs a running back. Why? Like,
well, I mean, they do. And you really need a running back badly.
I mean, I'm fine with getting, let's get, Alex Green back and let's just have him run around with the rest of this backfield. Why not? But that is the end of Week 1 review, Week 2 preview show. Thank you all for stopping by for the live stream. If you're watching this or listening to this at home, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Depending on where you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Stay out of trouble. Stay safe. And we here will talk to y'all later.
Dolphins start Tua.
Bye. Also agreed. Start Tua.